Remember when getting a new car was all about the engine? The horsepower, that new car smell? Well, all that's still there. But now there's something else going on, something you can't see. Software. Today, we're not just driving machines of metal and rubber anymore, we're literally operating these incredibly complex computers on wheels.
And have you ever sat behind the wheel, looked at a dashboard just buzzing with notifications and alerts, and felt like the car is kinda one step ahead of you? Yeah. If you felt that, you are definitely not alone. It's what happens when our cars get this smart.
So that really brings us to the big question, right? How in the world did we get here? Why did the simple act of driving suddenly become so connected and complex? Let's unpack all of that. We're going to go from that initial confusion to, hopefully, a moment of real clarity.
Okay, first up, we need to talk about the new reality for pretty much every modern driver. It's a reality that's built on this idea of constant connection and, the anxiety that can sometimes come with it.
Here's the most important thing to get your head around. A lot of your car's most important features. Think about your navigation system rerouting you around a traffic jam, or your favorite Spotify playlist just appearing, or even some of the emergency braking systems. They don't actually live inside the car. Nope. They're all being powered by a constant data signal from the outside world.
So, what happens when you drive through a tunnel, or you're out in a rural area with zero cell service? The moment that vital connection is lost, your super smart car can suddenly feel, not so smart, right? Features can vanish, the whole system gets confused, and you can really be left in the dark.
To really get why that connection is so critical, we need to peek inside the machine itself. So let's try to unpack the complexity of this automotive brain.
Look, if you feel like your car's tech is just overwhelmingly complicated, that's because it is. It's not just one single computer doing one thing. It's this whole sprawling network of processors and sensors and software, all firing at the same time. You can almost think of it as a controlled explosion of information happening inside a brain on wheels.
Okay, so let's try and simplify all that chaos. At its core, a connected car is just a vehicle that can both listen to the outside world and talk back to it. It's not just passively receiving GPS data, it's also actively sending its own information out, like engine diagnostics or its exact location. That two-way street, that's the key.
And we can kind of break that brain down into four main parts. First, you've got your infotainment. That's your maps, your music, your apps, all the fun stuff. Then there's telematics, which is the car basically reporting on its own health and performance. This is what lets your insurance company track your driving habits for a discount, or what automatically calls for help if you're in a crash. Then you have over-the-air updates. We're going to circle back to those in a minute. They're super important. And then there's the future, vehicle to everything, or V2X. This is where your car could actually talk directly to a traffic light and know exactly when it's about to turn green. Wild, right?
Okay, so we know what's inside the brain, but how does all that information from the outside world actually get in there? Let's follow the signal on its journey right into your car.
I mean, it's a question that feels a little bit like magic, doesn't it? We get how our phones connect to the internet, but how does this massive moving metal box do the same thing so seamlessly, most of the time?
Well, the process is actually pretty straightforward when you break it down. First, a signal is broadcast from a cell tower, just like it is for your phone. Step 2 is reception. Your car has its own built-in modem and antenna. That's the telematics unit we just talked about, and it's specifically designed to catch that signal while on the move. And finally, activation. The car's computers take that data and use it to power everything from live traffic updates to you remotely unlocking your doors with an app on your phone.
And there it is. That's the whole journey. The signal travels from an external source, like a cell tower. It gets caught by your car's own receiver, and then it just, appears right there on your dashboard, ready to go. It's the bridge between that invisible network that's all around us and the very tangible tech that's sitting right in front of you.
So we get the what and we get the how, but now we really need to dig into the why. Why does any of this matter? Because this technology, it's doing so much more than just adding cool features. It is fundamentally changing what a car even is.
This quote it nails the new reality perfectly. Think about it. For 100 years, a car was at its absolute peak the day you drove it off the lot. Every single day after that, it got a little older, a little more worn out. Well, that's just not true anymore.
Honestly, the best analogy is your smartphone. You know that feeling when you wake up and your phone suddenly has new features because it updated overnight? The exact same thing is now happening with cars. While your car is parked in the driveway, it can download what's called an over-the-air update.
And this isn't just for updating maps. Back in 2018, Tesla actually improved the braking performance of its Model 3 by almost 20 feet with a software update. They completely avoided a massive, expensive, and super inconvenient recall just by pushing out some code.
So let's just put them side by side. With the traditional car, its features were locked in the day you bought it. With a connected car, those features evolve. A problem in an old car? That meant a trip to the mechanic. Now, a whole bunch of issues can be fixed with a simple software patch. The car has literally transformed from a depreciating machine into an upgradable, evolving device.
And you know, all of this leads us to one final, really big picture question. This constant connection, the very thing that allows your car to get better over time, it also opens up this whole new world of questions about ownership, about security, about the data your car is constantly beaming out. So when your car is always listening and can be changed remotely from hundreds of miles away, who really holds the keys?